Okay.
All right. And just so you know, this is being recorded. All right. Oh, we have something pop on up here. Alicia, hello, darling. Can you hear me? Alicia, your phone, it looks like your microphone's on. Can you hear me? Oh, someone just popped off. Are you still there, Cheryl?
I'm here.
And Sharon just popped off. I don't know why. Okay, can you hear me, Alicia? Okay, all right, we'll keep talking. All right, so let's talk about finding new customers. And there's a couple mental things that we want to work on first. And then there's some specific things that we do as we're going along that really help you to have a good dialogue with people and be able to connect and be able to find those customers that are specific to you. And then at the same time, have you never feeling like a salesperson? Anyone here just dying to feel like a salesperson? Like, please, me, they have such a great reputation. Anyone feel like that?
No.
No? Okay. No. All right. So let's get started on this. So let me tell you, first of all, tell you just a funny little story. When I was really young, and my youngest daughter is a lot the same way, you know, if my parents took me to the store or someplace out and about, I'd say hello and talk to everybody. And I didn't have any fear, and I was just quite the extrovert. And my poor parents were they were quite insecure and very, very young, and they didn't quite know what to do with this little extrovert personality of mine. But the fun thing is that you learn is that people just love it when you're friendly. I mean, it's just, you just can't go wrong. I had this kind of rough and tough grandfather, and he was in a major auto kind of truck accident when I guess I was about 18 months old. And at that time, like, you couldn't go visit the hospital when you were under 18. And it was Father's Day, and they took me in, and I was only 18 months old. And the nurse laughed and goes, yeah, she looks 18. And go in, he has all these tubes and these casts, and he's just a mess. And I went right to him and didn't think anything any different. And it's one of those things that when you realize that people just love someone who is just friendly and kind and talks to you, and you just have this instant endearing kind of situation when you're just more friendly and talk to people, and you're the one that chooses not to be scared, but to get out there and talk to people instead of letting what, your fears can do to you. So the first thing that you got to realize is it's just so important to get out there and just start being more friendly. Okay? Talking more people, complimenting more people, asking about their kids, just getting out of your comfort zone. And whatever that might be, some of you are extroverts, some of you are introverts, we're all different. But whatever your comfort zone is, just talk to a few more people. Just kind of see what happens, because everyone wants to feel connected. And I'm going to give you some ways. There's Miss Alicia. So I'm going to give you some ways to be able to connect and start conversations with people. Okay? So the second thing that's really important is you've got to set a goal as to how many people you want to find. And it's kind of fun because Shauna was just telling me, who's on the call, that she'd put down a number of how many people she wanted to find. And then all of a sudden, she starts finding people. And it's just really, really funny what happens when you just start reaching out, start looking for people, and you put that number down. Now, do all of you here have a really strong belief and sense that there is someone that needs what you have? Some of you have product and services, and some of you have a business opportunity. Do all of you feel pretty strongly that there's someone who needs what you have? Yeah? Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I want you to think about this. If you're not focused on your goals and building your business, that means somebody else can't accomplish their goals. Okay? If you're home and not getting out and not sharing your opportunity with people, someone who needs that business opportunity, someone who needs your product, someone who needs your service, or however it might help your health or organize you or whatever it might be, you cannot get as far as you want to be if you don't reach out and do your thing. Okay? Because well, they're not going to have that business, or they're going to go find it with somebody else. And wouldn't you rather it be with you? Okay. So it's go ahead. All right. So it's incredibly important to understand that you setting goals and you choosing to find so many people to help, it's answering, well, because I call goal setting a way to pray always. It's literally answering somebody else's prayer when you help somebody else accomplish their goal. Okay? So one of the things you want to do is make a choice as to how many people you want to find that need your product in a certain time period. And one of the things I do is I love Post-it notes. And so you take your favorite colored Post-it note, whatever it might be, and you start putting them everywhere with that number on. How many do you want to find? Now I want you to think about this. If you were to start talking to more people and half of them were just new friends and half of them become new business partners. So let's say 5 of them, you meet 10 people and 5 of them are new friends and 5 of them are new customers. Is anyone here going to be really disappointed if you had 5 new customers versus 10? Is 5 still an awesome number? Or if you got 10 instead of 10? Well, this is the thing. You're going to start talking to people, and some people will just become your friends, and that's totally okay, because the amazing thing is almost everybody out there is enduring some sort of hard. And you get inspired when you talk to people and you hear their stories, and you get to find out how they're enduring their hard. And it's amazing how you get inspired and excited about these different things. All right, so that's the first thing. The second thing to understand is that these goals, I have seen, seriously, I'm just baffled. How many people have had just amazing little miracles happen? They put down, I tell them, put down your goal on your piece of paper, put it down, go put it away, now get to work and focus on whose goals can I be out there helping. And you put those two together and you synergize it, and your goals and their goals get made, because both of those prayers are being answered. And it's really amazing that, seriously, miracles that people are seeing and just dumbfounded with how business is coming to them. Very much the law of attraction. I kind of believe it's God's answering our prayers. But it's an amazing experience to be able to move forward just with faith that it's going to happen. And the sooner you try this, the better you can take advantage of it. And I joke all the time that some people, they're not going to believe me that it can happen. But if you just so much as hope it happens, and it'll just try it anyway and put it down, I mean, what's the worst thing that happens? You don't get any people. Well, you're not getting any people anyway, wherever you're at this point. So don't worry about it. Just move forward. Okay? All right. So the next thing is, so take that goal and put it in lots of fun places. Now, one of my favorite places to put my goals is next to the speedometer in my car. So we're going to talk about, when you're out and about, finding customers that way. So when you're out and about and the last thing you see before you jump out of your car is that note as to how many people you want to find, that's really fun, okay? Because then as you head into the grocery store, head into the doctor's office, wherever it might be, you kind of stop and think, okay, who here needs me today? Because we are all busy and it's easy to get tunnel vision. You just go for what you buy, you pick it up, you go pay for it, and you're just kind of get in, get out. And I'm really busy, and so that's real easy for me to do. And I'm sure it is for many of you. But when you stop and you look at that number and go, okay, maybe there's someone here who needs to meet me today. And you kind of look around and take notice and just be a little more aware. It's going to take you 2 extra minutes. then you can find people as you're out and about, because you're always running into new people. So you might as well find out if any of them need your opportunity. Okay? Put your goals on a keychain. There's all sorts of fun places to put them. All right? Now, set a new goal every so often. It might be monthly. I'm kind of a big believer in redoing your goals about every 30 days, because you never know what might come up to the surface, what's really important to you that you just hadn't put down for a while. Okay? Use buttons, use keychains. There's all sorts of things you can do. But you want to keep that goal close and in front of you. And it's really cool what can happen. Okay? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions on those two things? Talk to more people and set a goal. I haven't totally terrified you and scared you to death yet, right? No?
No.
All right. Okay. So, the next thing you want to do is you want to be able to start conversations with people. So I have a couple fun ways to do that. One of my top ways to doing that is to ask a question or to give a compliment. So we might give a compliment on their shirt, on their shoes, on their smile, on how well behaved their kids are, the healthy things they're buying, whatever it might be. We give some sort of compliment. Now, a lot of times people will say, "Oh, thanks," turn around and keep doing their thing. So sometimes you need to have a prepared kind of question afterwards. Hey, where did you get those? Did you get those here in town? Let's see, what other conversations? Tell me what you like about the spaghetti sauce. But you need sometimes a question, because sometimes that compliment only goes so far in a conversation. Okay? So your compliment is your first one. One of the things that's fun is just being curious. Asking them, how old their kids are, asking them, what, if they're from town, what they like to do here in their area. There's all sorts of things. You want to have open-ended questions, because then it causes them to talk versus just say yes or no. Then it's kind of hard to know where to go from there. Okay? I like I call common ground. For me, like, I live in what's called Tri-Cities. I love to ask people when I'm out shopping, "Hey, which city are you from?" And I'm like, "What do you like about it there? What do your kids do there?" I love to find out about people from the other two cities that I live in, because it's just fun. It's just a fun place to be, and people shop in all three cities, and it's kind of blended, but yet it's kind of not. So that's kind of fun to get to know people that way. For me, I live in Washington. In the Super Bowl, the Seahawks were going to the Super Bowl for the second year in a row. And that's kind of fun. I mean, if I had brought up the Seahawks with anybody a month ago, boy, I would have had a new best friend. And we happen to be a fan of a different team, but it doesn't matter. You still find common ground. It can be the weather, it can be holidays, where we all just had New Year's, ask, "Hey, you still got New Year's resolutions going on? Are you still working on them? This is what I've done well, this is what I haven't." But having a nice little chat. Now, the last one is to ask an opinion. People love to be asked their opinion on things. "What do you think of this shirt? Does it bring out the cream in my eyes? What do you think of this? Have you ever eaten this before?" But asking people their opinion is a great one to also help. Okay? All right. So from there, you kind of have to learn how to lead the conversation based on what you have to offer. You're talking about the weather. So Alicia, this would be a good one for you. She sells, it's light. It's kind of like the light therapy when there's too much dark this time of the year. But asking somebody a little bit about what their New Year's resolutions are. Also asking about the weather. And like here, my daughter loves rainy weather, and she loves it being cloudy, which about drives me crazy. And but talking to somebody, "Gosh, can you believe how many days of rain we've got in a row? What do you do to kind of keep yourself up?" Because we're known for having 300 days of sunshine. I am not in the Seattle part of Washington. Okay, I'm in the desert part where we get sunshine. So having conversations, having little starters to get conversations going. Where Cheryl, she sells Tupperware and stuff to put food in. Hey, tell me about, you know, do you guys eat salads on a regular basis? Oh, wow, it's so awesome. What kind of things do you put on your salad? How many are you eating, you know, feeding your house? What do you do to keep your lettuce and your vegetables good? Or do you usually eat them before they go bad? Asking all sorts of questions like that, asking people about their health. Are they still on their fitness goals for the new year? All those kind of things can get conversations started. Okay? Now, this is the important part of this conversation, and it's extremely important. One of the things I teach people is that when we hear an opening and a need for our product, it's so tempting to want to kind of come in like the hero. Dun, 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 we have a solution for you. Well, I want you to think about this for a minute. The last time you were talking to somebody's beloved to you, your husband, a mom, a trusted sister, and you're venting. You know, we just have our little moment. We vent. And they look at us and they say, well, why don't you just try this? Or have you thought about doing this solution? Or why don't you just do this? And we're like, so many of us are kind of like talk to the hand, kind of offended. And what it really is we're going, do you not think I'm smart enough to try that simple solution, right? We don't want to come off like we, you know, that when we kind of have that little annoying, you know, husband little moment when they gave us advice that we didn't solicit. And it's so important that you help them to save face, meaning listen to everything they've tried so far to try to fix that problem, so that, you know, let's just say maybe they have tried the product that you have. They're going to tell you that, and then you know where to not go with the conversation, and you're just a friend now. But that's okay. But I mean, that doesn't happen real often, but still it's important to understand where they're at so that we don't make assumptions and then start suggesting things and waste both of your time because you're not suggesting the right products. So what we like to do is, instead of, because most people will say, oh, I know someone who had the exact same situation and I have the perfect solution for you. Now, that person totally means well. And this is why I tell people all the time, you absolutely are some of the nicest, kindest women ever out there. And here you totally mean well, but you're not getting, if you go in with an instant solution, you're going to come off like a salesperson, which does not come off sincere and like you just want to help people. So it's important to hold back, and this is what you're going to do instead. When you hear that whole, you know, wanted to lose weight, my kitchen's unorganized, man, I'm so sick of winter, whatever it is, you want to say, well, tell me, what have you tried so far? That's what helps save face. They tell you all the things that they've tried. They get to talk. And, you know, that's the other thing. People love to talk about themselves. The number one word used in the English language is the word I. So it's really important that you understand that people love to talk about themselves and that you want to get them talking as much as you can. So when you say, you know, oh, well, tell me what you've tried for that so far. That's a hard one. And you really validate them. You're starting to build trust. So then they might tell you, you know, a couple things they've tried, and you can kind of hear, you know, what they did or didn't like, if they happen to try the product you already have, or if they haven't yet, and then you might have a solution for them. So we're going to get to the solution really quick. But you're going to ask 2 more quick questions. The next question is going to be, so tell me, and this has to be open-ended. It's really important that it's an open-ended question, because if you ask it yes, no, I'll show you why you don't want to do that. So what we want to ask is, tell me a little bit about how well that worked, or how close did you achieve your goal with that, or on a scale of 1 to 10, how effective was that solution? We want to find out what it is that worked for them. Okay, now the thing is, you wouldn't be having this conversation if you didn't know that there was already something wrong with the current plan that they had. So you kind of know, and some people get worried that if they do that, then they're kind of setting it up for someone to say, oh, well, it was a perfect fit. Well, you wouldn't be talking about it had it been the perfect fit. You don't have to worry about that, okay? So you just need to say, so tell me a little bit about how that worked for you. Because we're hoping to see a need and have that and be able to feel it. Okay? So when you say that, then you can go on next. And after they have told you how well it worked, then what you want to do is this third step. Now, it's really funny because people crave, absolutely crave being unique, okay? And so you say, well, you know what? I know someone who had a very similar situation. When you say similar instead of the exact same problem, then they feel heard. It's really important that your new potential client feels heard by you, or you're not going to have much trust from them at all. So who do you know? Asking them, who do you know, or sorry, asking them if, apologize. I know someone with a very similar situation. Who do you know? I know someone who has a product they've been trying, and I would love to find out if that would be a good fit for you. Okay? So I know someone with a similar situation, there's a product they've been trying. I would love to see if it would be a good fit for you. And the reason why you want to do that good fit for you, is because it's opening it up to saying, I'm going to make sure that I allow you to make this choice, instead of, I know someone that had the exact same problem and I know the perfect solution for you. That overexcitement sometimes doesn't go over well with certain people, okay? Versus, hey, I know someone in a similar situation. Tell me a little bit, I'd love to share something with you. Can I see if it's a good fit for you so you can decide? And then that way it puts the ball back in their court. They feel like they're not going to try to be convinced. And what happens is people keep down what I call their sales walls. Who of you, it's so funny, I was scared to mention my product. I was scared to bring up my company. I was scared to say something where I saw that they talked about a certain problem they had and you knew your product was a perfect answer. And I laugh at people. I'm like, okay, if you're, at the grocery store and you did happen to say something that just turned somebody off, very seldom, never that I've heard of, does anybody actually throw rotten tomatoes at you or go running down the aisle, don't talk to Cheryl, she's gonna bring up Tupperware. Okay, like, we all know that's not gonna happen. The literal, and you can't see me, so I'll try to explain it. The only thing you're scared of happen is that look they get in their eyes, like they're engaged, they're having a conversation, and their body language, they pull back just a little bit. It's just slight. They pull back just a couple inches, and their eyes kind of get big, and they kind of get that look like, oh my gosh, you're going to try to sell me something. That's literally all you're scared of happening. You hate that feeling of, oh, I just made them uncomfortable. I don't know what to say now. So often, you'll start talking even faster for fear you're going to lose them. If you see that look in their face, when their body language, they pull back a little bit, their eyes get a little bit big, when you see that happen, instead, what you want to do is just stop. Stop what you're saying, look at them, take a deep breath and go, can I ask you another quick question? Because if they're talking and they're bringing a reason that they need the product, then they pull back in, they pull forward, their body language is engaged, their eyes are softer, they're looking at you, giving you eye contact. It is an amazing thing that happens when you learn how to do this. Because so many of us are excited about our product, so we talk to people, don't ask very many questions, and then at the end we have no idea why they did or didn't buy it. Because we didn't hear much from them, and they didn't get to talk much, and all we know is, well, we presented the product, what's wrong with them? Or what we're hoping is if we tell them about all our products, there'll be at least one of them that resonates with them. And you just don't want to do that. You want to take the time to step back and talk about what product fits best for them. And when you can ask them questions that reveal different needs, you'll be able to do a better job at taking care of them and ask them questions that reveal the needs that then you can show the perfect product. So let me tell you just another quick thing. Just think about this for a minute. If you always lead with the most popular product that you have, if someone walks into your booth or you meet someone, you get to talk to them about cooking, and so you start talking about Tupperware or whatever it is, it's so, oh, I can't tell you, you literally will lose customers because if you're not asking enough questions and there's something of yours they needed and you didn't bring it up, or you didn't have a really good conversation with them to know what they need the most, then you end up losing sales. Okay, so I had this gal that was a wedding officiant, and she was so funny. I taught this to her, and I said, if somebody comes through your booth, what do you do? And she says, well, I introduce myself and tell them a little bit about what I do and show them a couple of ways we make the ceremony special. Might have them fill out a drawing slip. Okay, that's one way to do it. I says, what if instead they come into your booth, you say, oh, tell me about your wedding date, where are you getting married, what did you want to do to make it special? I said, how many ways do you show them to make it special in the booth? And she goes, well, about 3. I said, how many different ways can you do a wedding? Oh, I don't know, 10 or so. I said, well, what if by the questions you find out that she actually wants to do number 7 and you wouldn't have brought it up had you just done all the talking? Because you don't want to bore them by telling them every product you have. The look on her face was like, oh my gosh. She goes, I've been doing it wrong. And she was almost in tears. I'm like, no, you've done a lot of weddings. She goes, well, yeah. I said, so you're just going to up the percentage of weddings you do, and it's okay. You can totally do this. And so it's amazing what you can do when you just learn to slow down and recognize a few more things. You'll really be able to better take care of people. Okay? All right. So we've done the tell me what worked. We've asked the question. The first question is, what have you been using so far? How well did that work? And then we asked, I know someone who has a similar situation. May I share with you the product that's working for them and see if it's a good fit for you? Okay? And you do those 3 steps. And you can do that online and in face-to-face. So I've talked more about online. So I want you to think about this. You've posted something on Facebook. Somebody hits like. It's not someone you're even familiar with, but, it's fun to branch out and try to find other people to sell to. And, you just say, hey, I saw you liked the post, so I thought I'd send you some information about our company. You put a whole bunch of stuff on, the sale, the specials, you put on your website. How often do you ever hear from people when you do that?
Not much.
Not very often, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a better way? Okay, so what if somebody comments or likes your stuff and you said, hey, thanks so much for the like. I'd love to get to know you a little better. Tell me a little bit about, how many nights a week you cook at home, and, how many nights a week would you like to be cooking at home? Or tell me a little bit about what's something great you're doing for your health right now, and what's something you'd like to change up in 2015. Like, you can ask these questions of people and get a conversation started, and when that door opens, they hate their lettuce going wilty, they feel 20 pounds overweight, they're just depressed when the sun is down so much, whatever it is, hey, what are you using right now to kind of combat that? And tell me a little bit about how well that's working. Tell me, how close did you get to your goal? Well, can I share something with you that's helped me and other families? And, I know someone with a similar situation. So you do those 3 things, both online or face-to-face, and you can do some really, really, really amazing things. Okay, does that make sense? Did any of you feel like it's a little bit softer, a little bit more doable than maybe before this call started? Anyone feel more hopeful in finding new customers? Give me a shout out, because there's a whole bunch of you on the phone.
I do. It does seem softer.
Mm-hmm. Would you
and
like
not like I'm trying to just. I like that we're asking more questions just listening and asking the questions to find out what do they really need.
Mm-hmm.
What are their needs?
Awesome.
And then not giving them everything in our book that we have.
Yeah, that's a big no-no.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Anybody else have an aha moment?
No, I was just saying the same thing.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. Okay, you can ask questions and improve every single part of your business, from sales to hostess coaching to recruiting to building that recruit. All those areas grow when you start focusing on the other person and their needs instead of yours. It's kind of fun. Okay, so you've gone through the 3 questions. Now, one of the things I'll do is say, I'm sorry, I forgot my business cards. I just ran out, or whatever it is. I would love to get your contact information and follow up with you. And, you know, whether it's bring him a catalog, invite him to a party, bring him a sample, whatever it might be. So I turn on my phone, I put on contacts, I start a new one, I hand it to them. So their name is all spelled right, so that so their name is spelled right, so the phone number is input right, so the email is input right, and then right there while I'm standing there, I text them and go, hey Susie, it was so fun meeting you at Target, thank you so much. Then that way you can confirm that they got it, and when you call them, it'll, you know, it might trigger them, oh, hey, this is Cheryl that I met at the grocery store. Okay? But if you are tempted to take cards and not ask for the other person's contact information and pray they're going to help you, then don't take them. Say, I'm sorry, I forgot my cards. I guess I'm going to have to get your information. But don't waste your money. Don't kill more trees, okay? Do not hand them out if you're not going to ask them for their information, because the chance of them calling you is pretty small. Okay, that will not make a business for as small as it would have to be. Okay, so give them an optional close. Would you like to come do, you know, see this product in a group setting? Would you like to do that one-on-one? Would you like to come try some samples, whatever it might be? And then give them, I'd like to keep a book that I can put how many people I talked to and how many people turned into leads, because this is really important. You need to know your ratio, your success ratio, okay? And it should be about 50% or above. If it's not, you need to look at your calendar and pick a different time for when you're going to make, you need to keep track of that, because then you know the ratio. If it's not at least 50%, then you know you're probably doing something wrong when you talk to them, okay? So maybe you need to ask a few more questions. Maybe you need to listen a little more. Maybe you need to give a little more explanation as matching needs with what they want, all those things, okay? So that's kind of how I go about it. Now, on Facebook, one of the things that's really important is you're really working hard to connect with them, and then to ask for their phone number. Hey, I think this would be a little bit easier to explain to you the different options, or find out a little bit more about you, so I best understand your needs, or any of those things. So you want to ask those questions, and on Facebook, with the goal of getting them on the phone. Because then when you get them on the phone, there's a lot more personality going on, and you can better take care of them that way and know exactly what they need. So start those conversations, use those questions, and you can ask, you know, tell me what you've used, how well has it worked? You can ask that with just, you know, all those things can be asked online too. And so after you do that, you say, hey, you know what? So we could connect a little bit better. Can I get your phone number and give you a quick call? And then you'll follow up with them and do those kind of things, okay? So it's really important to understand that you don't just sell vomit on them with sending you your website and all the specials and all the great stuff going on. They're new to your product. They're going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about, okay? I'm not sure that's something I want to do, all right? So no sell vomiting, okay? You ask lots of questions, get to know them, ask follow-up questions. It's really fun to see what happens. Okay, any questions? No?
No.
What will you
Maybe after I try some of this.
You what?
I said after I try some of this, I might have some questions.
There you go. What will you take away from tonight, and what will you try to do more of?
Talking to, just generally being more open and talking to people, and then listening and using questions.
Good job. Very good job. Any other thoughts?
Talking to more people and using more open-ended questions.
Awesome. Who's that talking?
Sharon.
Sharon. Awesome. Okay. Who came on that's 478?
Cam,
Oh, hi, Cam. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good.
Fine.
You're in Boise, right?
Huh?
Pardon?
Did you say Cam, C-A-M?
Cam, K-I-M.
Oh, Kim. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you with, Kim?
That's okay. I'm with Ruby Ribbon.
Ruby. Oh, I've been wanting to meet someone who sells that. Nice to meet you. Where are you at?
Oh, thank you. I'm in Georgia.
In Georgia. Oh, it's late over there. Well, welcome.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank
All
you.
right. You bet. Did you get any aha moments with the call? I know you popped on just a little bit late.
I did. I popped on too late, I think.
You did?
Because I
Okay.
just got work.
Well,
Mhm.
it's recorded, and if you're signed up for the class, we'll send you the recording with a thank you, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, and we can talk for a second after the end. Lisa, your microphone's not working on your phone?
What?
So let's see. I'm curious, this is from Lacey. I'm curious if you have any suggestions about following up with contacts who you haven't really gotten to know yet. Yeah, you're going to ask lots and lots of questions. Things that connect your product to what they need. I have like a 2.5-page question starters, and they're different types of questions. That was actually on last night's call, on the sales call. If you go and sign up for the sales call, we haven't sent out the thank you. Last I knew, my web design gal does that. And then you'll get the recording and you'll get the worksheet for that. Okay, Alicia, does that help? All right. So if I could tell you just real quick, there's a couple classes I offer, and some of you are already on the classes. And can I pick on you just for 2 seconds, Cheryl, and you tell them just a little bit about what you've got from the classes, how your business has changed?
Well, I was doing the sales 90-day challenge, and I have built up my parties, and I'm talking to more people when I'm out, and it's good. My eyes are set on a director level, and I'm going to make it this time. I have the confidence to do it because I have the tools to do it.
Awesome. 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 Are miracles happening that you didn't expect?
Oh, gosh, yes. I can't believe all of the miracles that have happened.
That's awesome. All right. So there's a couple things. I have this 90-day challenge, and that's a 12-week course, and we go over goals and habits and how that's a way to pray always. There's lots of cool things that come with that, and amazing kind of this law of attraction, God answering your prayers stuff that happens. We talk about asking questions to one-on-one, finding new people in a group when you're doing classes. There's all these ways that we ask questions and help you get more effective. And then in the other ones, we have 3 new ones we just started, and they're called master's classes. It's kind of like master gardening. but it's mastering kind of one skill in your business. So we'll cover that one subject for 4 straight weeks, and by the end of it, you will have had some productivity. Like, you shouldn't just learn it and then go apply it a month later. You should be applying it as you go. So the first one is in building your customer list. The second one is in sales. And the third one is in recruiting. Now, if you haven't taken any sales classes from me, you definitely have to do that one before the recruiting, because you need to know how it is that you're going to teach your people how to sell after you find them and recruit them. But it's amazing. We'll use these kind of things we did tonight with the finding customers, but we will target different areas. We'll get you practice. We'll help you set goals, and it'll be just amazing and so fun what can happen. Okay. After that, the sales one, we're going to help you make money and have sales and help more people. We're going to help you do that in that 30 days and have sales by the end. And then the third one is kind of if you like sales and you kind of got some stuff in your business, but you've never recruited or you want to get really good at it, the recruiting one. So the 90-day, that's a $300 course, or you can just pay $110 per month. But the master classes, they're either $100 or you pay 2 payments of $60. And it's really, really fun because it just gets you really good at that one skill before you're trying to take on others. So it kind of depends on what works best for you, but sometimes that's a really good leap off place to just give it, coaching a try if you've ever done something with a coach, and helps you to really refine your business skills. And I have people make back their money quite quickly most of the time. Would you agree with that, Cheryl?
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Okay, awesome. So what I love to do is just open it up. Some of you are already working with me, but if you'd like to just have a little chat about your business and your goals to see if any of those classes would be a good fit for you, then I just offer you the opportunity to chat with me, chat about your business, see which ones fit best, and then we can go from there. So if anyone would like to have a quick chat, so I know there's Sharon and Kim and Alicia who aren't working with me, and then one of you, Christina, you already plan on doing the master class unless that's changed in the last hour. So anyone want to just have a quick chat with me about their business? And it's okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. If you could, I'd like to have a quick chat with you about a master class and just see if that would be a good fit or not.
Okay, is this Shauna?
Shauna. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're already in the 90-day challenge. You want to add one?
I was thinking about it.
Okay.
So yeah, I kind of wanted to ask you about that, I guess.
Okay. All right, we'll do that. We'll chat about that. I'll give you a Gmail. Okay?
Okay.
Is
that
during the
sounds good.
day or evening better?
Probably I would say the evening is better.
Evening? Okay. All right, sounds good.
Yeah, evening.
All right,
Okay.
perfect. Anyone else want to have a quick little chat? All righty, sounds good. Okay, well, it's a pleasure to have you each on. And does anyone have any other questions about finding new customers? All right, so remember tomorrow night tomorrow at 10 and at 6 the same time, we have a call on recruiting. And it's fun. It's a really exciting one. You feel really down to earth, have a really neat conversation. It's really, really fun to have ways to recruit and not feel it all pushy. So just anyway, if you'd like to join me on that, go sign up on the website. All right. All right.
I already signed up.
Already signed up. Perfect. Well done.
Yeah.
Good. Come join me again. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
You
Thank
bet.
you.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Michelle.
You are very welcome.